Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Around the Fire. Today we got Tiffany here,
Hello.
and this is her new Kimber Micro Carry Special Edition Bel Air. And from the factory, this is how you're gonna get it in a nice cardboard box. But in your cardboard box, you'll get a reasonably nice little cushy carry case, and inside said carry case. Get that out of the way. You have your pretty shiny, pretty blinged out little pistol. So, first impressions of this when I saw it at the store was, wow. First off, I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, it's a 57 Chevy kind of color. I actually used to have a 51 that was this color, and I mean, it would be super cool. I mean, you remember that car?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this would match that if I had still had it, and it would be a pretty cool little piece of accoutrement to go with it. But also, wow, was the price tag. I believe it was $799, right?
Yep.
That's fucking insane. So we were there because Tiffany was interested in getting herself a self-defense pistol. I recommended, let's start you with a 22 because it's something that she's used to shooting at the range. I have a Remington VTR varmint tactical rifle that she enjoys shooting quite a bit.
Yep.
Yep. So she was comfortable with that. And you know, as most things go with the ladies, you take them to the store, they see something shiny, and you know, it's all over from there. So some financing options later for her because I told her it was part of her Christmas present and she was only getting what, $250 out of me for it. She ended up with this. Now this is a I have to say a really nice looking gun. You know, in my opinion, perhaps a little bit on the retro-y kind of, I don't know, like it's cool. I mean,
I like it. I mean,
yeah.
about it.
But to me, it fits in the categories of those pink guns, or you know I mean, they got specialty guns for sure. Like especially Kimber. Kimber has a lot of special editions, and you know they got like the sapphire. They've got cool inlay wood handles and et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, this is cool. You know, it's a 57 Chevy color, so I mean, it could go either way. You know, it's just me personally, I don't necessarily want a powder-coated painted gun, I don't think, right off. Like, that was my first visual impression of it. But she was like, oh my god, I love it, so that's how we ended up here.
Right. I just kept going back to it.
Yeah. Okay. So, without further ado, let's get into the specs. So, the Kimber micro carries are modeled after a 1911. They are a 380 ACP, alright, they are extremely small little guys. I mean, that is a little teeny dude with a 6-round capacity single stack magazine. So, I mean, it's a pocket pistol in my book, I mean, it functions nicely. All the operating systems there, as simple as they are, do what they're supposed to do. Everything on the gun, that you see that looks chromish is actually stainless steel that's mirror finish polished. So that's very nice. I mean, it will last. It will stay good. If you don't mar it up or, screw it up too bad, like in your pocket with change or whatever, I would still put this little guy in a holster personally, myself. The Ivory handles are, I did a little looking into that because it's advertised as ivory. Of course it's not ivory. I mean, that's fucked up. We don't want to go kill elephants and take their tusks, so it's a it's a plastic injection molded ivory substrate of some sort. I can't remember exactly what it's called now, but it's fairly high quality stuff. It's used a lot in hand grips and whatnot. So yeah, that's that. Let's see. I was not particularly impressed with the sights. They are very accurate, okay, but for what you would consider a pretty expensive small handgun coming in around $800 retail, there's nothing going on there. These are just black plastic sights. I wasn't super impressed with that. Right off the bat. I normally, we'll talk about that later. We're not going to talk about that in the specs section, but right off rip, I was just like, what the fuck, They, like I said, retail about $800. She picked this one up for $750 because they're having a little bit of a sale. You're getting like $50 off any gun over like $500 or something like that. Yeah, I mean, basically, it wasn't for me. I was saying, let's do something else. I was gonna say, like, if you want a pocket pistol, let's get a slim 9mm, what have you. My disposition towards this was really like, and some people out there, pardon me, are going to disagree with me, but I kind of thought this was a girl's gun, right off rip. I was like, this is totally a pistol marketed to chicks, and I'll be honest with you, after I shot it, I don't know, I am kind of on the fence about things. We'll show you some footage here in a minute, but let's talk to Tiff here for a second about how she feels about it.
I mean, personally, it's the second handgun I've ever shot. The last one I did kind of frightened me a little bit. Typically, it's just the kickback that kind of scares me.
The kickback, the noise.
Yeah, like everything.
The actual huge pop in the hand.
Right, I'm not a huge fan.
Okay.
But
so the recoil wasn't bad.
Right. This one's kind of heavy, so it felt more sturdy in my hand and secure. So I mean, I didn't have an issue shooting
it is that. I don't have the actual weight in front of me, but there's a for a pocket pistol, it's all metal. So
yeah, I mean it's heavy.
It's not what I consider heavy in consideration to another gun, but
right.
It's got enough weight behind it to where it's not flying out of your hand.
I might be a little bit biased just because I loved it so much.
Absolutely.
That I think I was going to love it regardless of how it shot.
She would have made herself love it. She was terrified of it. The first time we shot it, she wanted me to load one bullet into it, and
yes,
and we moved on from there.
Yes, finally got to shooting whole magazines. But other than that, I mean, I like it a lot. It feels good in your hand.
So I mean, the recoil's not bad.
Right.
The weight's good.
Yep.
The grip. How's the grip feel?
I mean, at first...
Does it stay in your hand where you need it to stay, even though there's no stipple?
I mean, yes and no. I'm kind of limp-wristed, so I might not be the person to ask.
She is, but she's a new shooter.
I'm a new shooter, yeah. But other than that, I mean, I thought that it was being so small, it was going to bother me in my hand, but I think it does feel good. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm cool with that.
Okay. One thing that's different with this, because it's a 1911 style, is it being a single action. How did it feel operating a single action in comparison to some other weapons you've fired, that were, say, double action, like an automatic double action pistol? Did you notice a difference at all?
No, I mean...
So, okay. So to you, having the ability to double tap a bullet doesn't really immediately matter.
No.
Right. However, that is an issue, and at least in my mind. Single action is single action. There's nothing wrong with it if you know how to operate a single action. But for like Tiffany here, like the ladies that maybe haven't had enough training, or like I'm trying to get her out there and get her into it, and make her understand how these things work. In a self-defense situation, if she goes to plink one and it doesn't go off, is Tiffany going to think reactionally at that point, I need to recock the weapon, or rack that one out of there and get another one in there? I mean, I certainly hope you will, down the road, as we continue to try and get you better at those sort of things. But in my mind, it creates an obstacle. Now, it's an obstacle that can be overcome, and again, this is a personal taste model. You're not buying a mini 1911 because it's, got every feature in the world. It's a mini 1911. It's a proven platform that you're probably a fan of, and that's probably why you're looking into this. So, that being said, I mean, you enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I actually enjoyed it a little bit. So, let's get to some of that range footage, and we can talk a little bit about the accuracy when we come back. I'm going to kind of tell you how I feel about it. Like I said, when my initial impressions of it were, I'm not going to enjoy this. This is a dinky little gun. I would never buy a 380, just because what am I going to do with it? they are like a mini 9mm with less punch, you know. So let's take a look at that, and when we come back, we'll get more into it. Okay. All right.
What? What? It's not as far back as mine was. See it?
What do you mean that's exactly at the 10-yard mark on the wall? That's okay. So you saw that footage, and in that footage we fired quite a few rounds. We put this gun through its paces. It had no jams, no failures to feed, no issues whatsoever at all. And I mean, we were firing, what
I
was
think
it?
we went through like almost 100
Well, it was
rounds.
100 rounds, 380, but it was nothing fancy. It was like Winchester white box or
Yeah.
something. You know, just some cheap junk that we got at the store. So between the two of us, we did about 100 rounds through the gun. Tiffany, this is her best target here. She really started to actually get a good hang on the situation. I was quite proud of her. Hold that up just for a minute longer so I can actually get a good look at it. I mean, that's impressive. I mean, this is the first handgun she's really ever shot. I've tried to get her to try my 9mm. I've tried to get her to try my 45s. I tried to get her to try various things over the years. And, you know, like she said earlier, she's scared of them for the most part. This one, you know, it was her new baby, so she was going to shoot it no matter what. She was going to make herself do it. But I was really, really proud of her. And I think more importantly, I've learned something here that even though maybe I don't like this gun, that it's good for her because it's a comfortable little fit for her. You know, like maybe something like a big black 45 in her hand just feels more intimidating, too blocky, too heavy to hold out there, you know, like I like that because I like the reduction in recoil because of the weight of a gun. But perhaps she enjoys that lighter, more mobility. And I mean, who knows what you're going to like down the road, you know? I mean, this is just your first one. But still, I mean, I was extremely impressed, actually. When she shot that, I kind of laughed. I was just like, I don't know how you go from, you know, she was having trouble figuring out how to operate. Yeah, well, you were having trouble figuring out how to operate the slide and, you know, first handgun stuff. You know, no big deal, but she went from that to all of a sudden blowing the center out of a target, and I'm just like, what is going on, you know? Now, myself, I had some pretty good targets, but this was the best one. It shoots nice groups. It really does. I was pulling it a little there, you know, and I shot a lower group. I thought that it was kind of shooting lower and to the right, but when I steadied myself with my elbows, just because I feel like this gun is a little small for me and it does have a pretty poppy kick, it really does put them all where you want them to. Now, one thing I will say with the Kimber sights, as opposed to some other sights I have on some of my other guns, is that you're really aiming down the very bottom crevice of the rear sight and kind of blocking out your target. But if you take that approach to the aim there, and of course that's going to change at a distance, but I mean, this thing was putting them where they were supposed to go. I was so impressed with how accurate this thing was that, honest to God, if she said that she didn't like it, I would have taken it from her. You know? I mean, I'd have to go buy my old car back just to, you know, have something that it matches for it to make sense. But, I mean, this thing is cool. This is a really, really nice gun. I mean, just as the afterthoughts here, you know, that we're kind of done shooting it, we're back from the range, you know. I mean, I'll say this. As a negative, this little bit of the magazine here that you can see sticks out, and it is sort of just like a cut off piece of steel. It's not, it's like a little bit rounded off, there's no burrs on it or anything like that. But when you're holding it, you know, like, you can get like 2 fingers on there pretty comfortably, and I mean, I don't have a very big hand, so you might even be a little more screwed than I am. But this guy, like, he was kind of cutting into me a little bit.
But I don't have that issue.
Yeah, and I mean, she didn't have that issue, so I mean, but like, I just personally think that that's going to be one of those things that's going to pop up for some people that they're like, I don't know about that, you know. But other than that, I mean, there's like a nice little stipple on the back. Believe it or not, you know, it does stay in the hand pretty well, even though there's a lack of stipple on the sides. The slide operates easily, you know, there's no like some 380s are just really, really ridiculous to pull back. You know, safety functions nicely, operates easily with the thumb there, you know, everything is just, you know, right where you need it to be. It's a good little pistol, but like I said, you know, earlier, Kimber, I think, kind of is just, fuck, like, what the hell are we talking about here, you know? It's like the difference between this gun is $800, and then the next one up is $1,000, and then they'll give you some nice sights. It's like $200 more for some sights that have, they're like the Trigicon ones with the like little, I guess they're night sights. But I mean, you don't even need night sights. Just give me some high contrast dots. I mean, this is stupid. I mean, in my opinion. But I will say, Kimber is a quality product. Like, this is the top end, you know, of a lot of things. And, you know, if you like them, you love them. You know, this is the first one I've really gotten to play with in a while. And, I mean, they're extremely nice. This thing was fun to shoot. It really was for a 380. Okay, so in closing, like I said, $800 gun. Quality gun. You get what you pay for. You get high quality for $800. Now, tip. For the ladies out there looking for a concealed carry weapon that perhaps is a little bit decorative and meets their fancy, what would you recommend about that? Do you say it's a pro? Do you say it's a con?
I mean, I think it is a little bit expensive, but other than that, I mean, I really like the gun a lot. In comparison to other guns I have shot, I think it shoots really nice. I think it's fun to shoot, and I mean, it's nice that it's a cute little gun. I dig it. I would recommend it personally, just because I mean, that's kind of a girl thing. Girls like cute things, and.
But do you think now, after shooting a 380?
I like it. I do.
Well, I'm just saying. Do you think now, after shooting a 380 of that type, that you could say have gone with a $400 380 and have enjoyed shooting it just as much, just even though it's not a Kimber and not blue and?
Yeah, I mean, I could have enjoyed it. I mean, I personally bought this because it was a special edition, and I liked the color and everything about it, and I'm not bullshitting you at all. I mean, I will tell you.
They very well may become collectible. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I probably got a little sold from the dudes at Field and Stream on the fact that it was a special edition.
Total sucker.
Total sucker. I'm not even gonna lie.
You never take her to buy anything on Craigslist, ever.
No, I end up spending way more than I should. I mean, personally, I probably would have been happy with any gun. Would have been more scared to shoot those? Absolutely. Just because I didn't love it as much as this one. So, that's just an honest opinion.
I'll say that, you know, sometimes excitement is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
It got her out there, and it got her seeking the information, seeking the education. And that's a good thing because I want her to be safe, you know, and I'm sure you guys out there want your ladies to be safe too. So, I mean, if it's what makes them happy, sometimes we just have to bite the bullet, you know.
No pun intended.
Literally, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, like in my case, I will say in closing about this thing that, yes, they are expensive, but Kimber is, like I said before, an extremely high quality weapon. This guy shoots where you aim it, maybe with a $400, $200 cheaper, you know, I mean, I have nothing off the top of my head to think of. 380 pocket pistol, you might not get that. You might not get that accuracy. You might not get the nice weight behind it. You might not get, you know, well, obviously you're not going to get all the fancy, you know. That's the Kimber fancy right there. That's the bling. This belongs in a rap video. I mean, but I mean, honestly, I can't talk too much trash about it. It was a nice gun. It shot really well, and I will say this: if you're looking for something that's stylish and like a pocket carry, and you got a bunch of money and you can afford it, this thing is totally cool. The rest of the micros in the series are totally cool too. There's like the Sapphire, like I said earlier, and then there's one other one that I can't remember now. But like they're going to keep rotating that series. They're going to have more things that come out in that line. And they are all really, really, really good looking guns. It's just, you know, like I said, like if you want to pay for that, you know, they have a stainless steel model that's like the base model of this micro carry. That's perfectly nice. Comes with rubber grips, the stippling in back, the everything's stainless. I don't think everything's like mirror finish on it, but it's the same mechanically sound gun. And I think that one comes in at around like $650 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're still up there, but it's cheaper. You know, so you do have options in the Kimber family. You don't have to go crazy special edition collectible. But I will say, like I said, me personally, I don't think I'd go out and buy it, just because if I'm going to dump that much cash into something, I want like a crazy cool, you know, I mean, I guess $800 you don't really get something too cool nowadays, but you know, maybe for $800 I'd probably try and build another AR-15. You know, that's a lot of money, you know?
Yeah, or you could finance it at Field & Stream.
Which she did, so, yeah. But, in closing, I'm going to give this gun, quality-wise, a 10 out of 10. Accuracy-wise, I'm going to give it like a 9 out of 10, just because I'm not super happy with those sights. I think they function, they do their job, they are accurized, everything works. Like I said, there was that little issue with it kind of hurting me as I shot it, but that's kind of, I probably grip up on things a lot better than Tiffany does. Tiffany kind of, like, you know, she was talking about, she's kind of limp wristing it. But like she shot it really good still, so like you know, the accuracy, that's a valid point. It is an accurate gun. Looks wise, I mean, hell, that's a 10 out of 10. You know, I just think that like price wise, you know, and it, like I said, you're paying for top of the line pistol here. You know, Kimber, there's no argument there that this is, you know, pretty much, you know, one of the best handgun makers in the world. And I mean, you get what you pay for. So, like I said, if you have the money, go get one. If not, you know, again, you could maybe save up if you want to. Or, like I said, you know, you got another option. You can go with like the stainless steel, like micro carry,
yeah,
just the basic one.
Or if there's financing options available, you could finance a gun.
That's ridiculous. let's not recommend that people put themselves in debt for a gun. You know. But regardless, it is cool. She really did enjoy it, and like that's worth its weight in gold, right? And I had fun with it too. I can honestly say that it's something that she can go shoot, and I can have fun with her shooting. Okay, guys. Well, thank you again for coming and checking out our videos. Again, I'm Andrew. This is Tiffany.
Hello. Goodbye, I mean.
Alright, guys. Thanks again for watching. Again, that was the Micro Carry Kimber 380 ACP Special Edition Bel Air. This here was Tiffany. You know me, I'm Andrew. And as always, please like and subscribe. Come again. Come check things out. In the future here, I'm probably going to do a video on the Makarov. If you've never heard of that, that is a old Russian pistol that's very, very widely available. They're about $300, and they make really, really good single action, or I'm sorry, they're actually double action carry weapons. They are quite popular in the concealed carry realm, but they are a little weird. They're 9x18 instead of 9x19 traditional American rounds. We're also going to do a follow-up video to the M&P 10 with some modifications done to it to make it a little bit more comfortable for myself. And a few more things coming in the future. We're going to try and keep them coming out for you guys if you guys keep watching them. So, you know, thank you again, and have a good night.